Yo, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another New World video. In today's video, we're going to be looking at exactly how I've been making money so far throughout endgame. Right now, I have about 23,000 coin, and this has been going up very steadily. I also spend a lot, so this could be much higher if I didn't actually spend my gold during any of my craftings or anything like that. But with today's video, I just want to teach you guys some ways that you can make some coin. Now, this isn't guaranteed. Every server is going to be different with different markets. You might be making more, you might be making less. It all depends on your server's economy. But with a friend, I have looked at some of these items on their server, and some of them were actually even more expensive than they were on mine. So I would imagine that these will hold up no matter what server you are on. So I'm going to be giving you guys a couple different ways of going about this and different things you can sell along the way. But otherwise, before we jump in, if you do enjoy the video and find it helpful, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We're almost to 50,000 subscribers. But otherwise, let's go ahead and jump into this video. Now, the first one on this list is going to require you guys to be level 150 Arcana, or just be doing a lot of endgame like box runs up in Shattered Mountain or Reekwater, because you can get these to drop from different enemies and boxes, that type of stuff. But that is the infused health potions and also infused regen potions. These things sell for a ton, and they're always in need because they are consumables. On my server, these are going for around 670, 675 a pop, which is pretty darn decent considering they are super easy to make. If you have 150 Arcana, you can make these for less than 1 gold per, or obviously completely free if you get all the motes and then the Azoth water yourself. But if you guys do have the Arcana, you can see how easy it is to make. It takes 1 Azoth water, and you can get a ton of this by running around in Reekwater. You can get a couple hundred in like 30 minutes or so. It's pretty darn easy. And then otherwise, it just takes 1 Earth mote and 1 Soul mote. You can try some other different things like Soul Sprout stems, or here's a list of the different spirit regens and also the earth regens. It's completely up to you which you use. Just find whatever's the cheapest or easiest to gather on your server. When I was leveling Arcana, I made several thousand between the health potions and regen potions, and I sold a ton. I kept some for myself because I do use them quite often doing PvP and that type of stuff. But otherwise, selling them, I've made several thousand gold, and they sell super quickly. So if you have the Arcana or you've been saving them up from doing your endgame runs, this is going to be a great option to sell on your markets. Now, the next thing that you guys can sell are different food and also furniture recipes. These go for thousands up to. It kind of depends on what type it is and what bonuses it gives. But just for an example, here's a focus food. These are going for 4,500 coin, which is pretty insane. Now, the only issue with this is it is RNG dependent. You have to go around and open the different provision boxes and try to get these. But as long as you guys are doing your box runs, you are going to get them along the way. So if you aren't doing any sort of cooking or you get a duplicate recipe, make sure you put them up on the markets. They will seriously sell for thousands. Do not be afraid to list it for a very high price, especially if you're the only one trying to sell it. If you put up a sell order and there's no existing ones, make sure to put it for a high price. If it doesn't sell, you can always lower it later, but you'll always want to make it so it's thousands of coins because people will be buying this ASAP. I know the Imperial Palace has a ton of the provision boxes that you can get a bunch of recipes from. That's usually where me and my company get a lot from, is when we do that box run. Otherwise, anywhere else, if you guys are doing Source Mines, any of the Merc Guard stuff, any of the Force around there, if you see the provision boxes, make sure to pick them up. You never know when you're going to be getting a recipe. Otherwise, one of the final things you can sell once you are at higher gear scores, it gets even better, but pretty much that 500 to 600 watermark grind is where you're going to be making a ton of money, because there's a lot of people who just want to buy the higher gear score items, even though they know it doesn't count towards their watermark. They just want to have the higher tier gear. And if we look at my completed orders here, as you can see, I've listed several items for hundreds, if not thousands of coins, and they are selling. You can see the shoes sold for 1,000, the axe sold for 1,000. And honestly, I have found on my server, these different weapons and armors are actually selling for much lower than what they are on other servers. I know people on other servers who are selling fairly mid to high tier gear score items for probably double what I'm listing here. So you're going to have to check with your server, but there is possibilities of making thousands. Somebody in my company has over 100,000 gold just by selling a bunch of these. They got higher gear score very early on, and we're just selling these for thousands, and they were going very quickly. And the nice part about doing this for gold is you guys are knocking out several other things in the process. When you guys are doing those box runs, like I said, you can get the recipes that we mentioned earlier. Also, just in general, you're getting your gear score up. So if you're any interested in endgame stuff, that is something something you're going to be doing anyway. So this is just a great way of making passive gold. Any good piece of gear that you find along the way, just hold on to it and then sell it when you get back. Items that I really like to sell are items with luck or like mining luck. Those are super in demand because of other people doing their gear score grinds. When they're starting out at 500 gear score, they just want to buy something that's good and will last them for quite a while. So they'll grab these different higher gear score lucks because they have a higher percent chance. Also, the mining lucks are also really good considering everybody's trying to farm void ore. So any of these different luck items, make sure you're selling them if you guys do not want them yourself. Right here, I actually had 570 boots with 23 constitution. Also, if you guys have a straight attribute one, so this one obviously is just constitution, those help bring up the price as well. So this one has mining luck and luck on it with straight constitution, and this thing sold for 1,000 super quickly on my server. But always the best way of making a lot of gold is just spreading out what you're selling. So if you take in all of these different things, you're going to be making a lot more gold. And make sure you are always updating your prices. People are going to be undercutting you. Make sure you don't completely undercut them. And if you guys keep the prices high, you're going to be making more and more gold. Make sure you stay firm with your prices. Just make sure you're updating it every so often in case it does change significantly. Like for example, if you had put up orichalcum ore a couple weeks ago and that hasn't sold, you're going to be vastly undercut, probably by like 10 times the amount that you were trying to sell it for. So just make sure you keep an eye, always be going up to the trading posts, checking on your order, seeing what's selling, seeing what's not. Because like I said, every server is different. You never know what exactly is going to sell. You might have different luck depending on the different things that you're selling, as opposed to I have here on my server. But I really do recommend everybody is trying to be making gold, because if you guys want to level up any of your crafting, which take a very long time, you can significantly reduce the amount of time it takes to level up these things if you do have a lot of gold. Buying things is always going to be the fastest way of leveling up. But anyways, I hope you did learn something from this video. If you did, make sure to leave a thumbs up on the video to let me know. Really does help me out. Also consider subscribing. Like I said, we are very close to 50,000 subs. So if you guys want to be a part of that, there's going to be a lot more New World content here in the future. Otherwise, hopefully I will see you over on Twitch. We stream all the time. But anyways, I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you in the next video. See ya.